Alright, hey guys, remember CCG back in the video, and with this video I'm going to be going over the new Mermail and Atlantean support. Looks like they're putting it together based on this first card here. We're going to get started with Mermail Shadow Bodyguard, so you can see it has Mermail in the name, but here it says this card is always treated as an Atlantean card. So it definitely looks like they're trying to put in the support with both the archetypes here. The first effect here is that you can discard one card to the grave, and the level of all water monsters you currently control becomes 7 until the end of this turn. So that's to make it easier to go into the rank 7. It helps fix up the deck a little bit. That is a lot to have to discard a card in order to do so. And if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Atlantean or Mermail monster from your deck. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the extra deck for the rest of the turn except for water monsters. So that's an important thing to note, is that a lot of these water monsters, these Mermail and Atlanteans, they get some value out of being sent to the grave. So that does mean that you are going to be able to get something out of the level modulation here. But yeah, it seems like a decent first card. And here is Abyss Shrine, the Atlantean Spirit, which is a water aqua effect monster. This card is always treated as a Mermail card, so you can see it's the reverse of the other card. Pretty interesting that they're just blending in the two archetypes here. And you can tribute this card from your hand and one Atlantean or Mermail monster from your hand or field, and take one level 7 fish, serpent, or aqua monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the rest of the turn except for water monsters. So this is a great way to just go into your bigger monsters here, just because it did take a lot more materials to get them out, because you would have to discard more for it. So being able to use this card and just special summon it onto the board, just having another option of doing so is great. And then during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can banish this card from your grave and discard one card to the graveyard in order to draw a card. So that's an interesting effect. It's like a cycling effect here, just to clean up your hand in case you have something that's a brick. Being able to remove it and draw an extra card is pretty solid. And of course, the nice thing about that is that you are discarding it, you're not banishing it or anything, so you can just use it later, or use this discard effect, which is pretty solid. Looks like this is the new rank 7. So it says Poseidra Abyss, the Atlantean dragon deity. It looks pretty cool, the art. Definitely living up to the hype here for me. It's a water sea serpent, so we got to see the effect now. So it requires 3 level 7 monsters, and then once per turn you can also exceed summon this card by using one Atlantean or Mermail exceed monster you control. Nice, so it's even easier to go into it. If you go into the other exceed monsters, being able to go into this is a lot easier. And then once per turn you can attach 2 materials from this card and send 1 water monster from your hand or deck to the grave, and return up to 3 cards your opponent controls to the hand. So that seems pretty fun, just the fact that you're able to do this. Remove 2 materials, send the water monster from your hand or deck to the grave, which is solid because you won't have to waste materials from your hand, and you can possibly trigger a monster effect that's from the deck. And bouncing 3 things to the hand is pretty solid, considering that it's obviously non-destructive and it is non-target here. Pretty cool form removal. And if this exceeds summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can discard 1 card to the graveyard and special summon 3 level 3 or lower fish, sea serpent, and or aqua monsters from your hand and or grave. So a lot of ways to just having a recursion out of this. So pretty powerful card, especially because it just says if this card is sent to the graveyard, it doesn't care if it's destroyed necessarily. If it says your opponent tries to tribute this or something, you still get the effect off. And of course you can get value out of discarding it. Pretty cool card. Looks like this is the new Link monster. So this is Netbus, the Royal Mermail, which is a water sea serpent link effect monster. 2+ monsters including a fish, sea serpent, or aqua monster. So again, going into that generic water monster, or generic for Mermail and Atlanteans, but I'm sure other water decks are going to be using this card. Your opponent cannot target water monsters this card points to with card effects, so it's a great way of just providing protection. You can see the bottom 3 arrows are here, so you're going to be able to give some protection there. And then if a water monster is sent to the graveyard, you can activate a card effect, and then you can take 1 Abyss equip spell from your deck or grave and either add it to your hand or equip it to this card. Great way of just searching something out, and especially with the Abyss equip spells, that can be kind of a pain to just have to draw into them. Being able to get them from your deck or grave is a great form of recursion and just helps thin out your deck. And if this card is destroyed by your opponent, you can add 1 Atlantean or Mermail monster from your deck to your hand. Just a lot of value that this card provides. Pretty solid, as Link 3 is kind of a lot, but it does do a good amount, so I guess we're going to see exactly what it's going to do. But still, I think it's a decent Link monster. And then the final card here, looks like we got a new Abyss equip card. This is Abyss Sting of Triana. And you can only activate 1 card with this card's name once per turn. You can only use the 3rd effect of this card's name once per turn. You special summon 1 Atlantean or Mermail monster from your hand or grave, and if you do, equip with this card. So it's a monster reborn, or you can special summon something out of your hand. That's great, so you can get the bigger monsters without having to use up too many materials. And if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. More protection, that's always nice to have. It's a great way just to prevent these cards from being removed, especially if you're using a lot of resources. And you can banish this card from your grave, then target up to 3 fish, sea serpent, and or aqua monsters in your graveyard and or banishment and shuffle them into the deck. That's fine. If you need to recycle some things so you can use their discard effects later on, then that's pretty cool that you're able to do so, especially with the Exceed monsters. But otherwise, it seems like a pretty fun line of support. I definitely want to test this out since the whole like underwater theme has always been more interesting to me out of all these archetypes here. And especially if it's Mermail and Atlantean is pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about the new support. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.